Hey, how's everybody doing today? My name is Corey Moore, aka Corey Stones, and I want to do a quick video here about travel trips for Jerusalem. And if you've seen any of my other videos before, you've noticed that I made a video about travel tips to Israel in general. And this video, I want to focus specifically on travel trips for Jerusalem. I've been traveling to Israel since 2005, and I've been roughly over 20 times. So I've gone a fair number of times. I feel like I'm very comfortable and very experienced when it comes to traveling in Israel and specifically Jerusalem and other parts of Israel. So I hope that this video will shed some light on some travel tips for Jerusalem. If you're considering going to the area, I would highly encourage you to do so. It's definitely one of my favorite places in the whole world, and certainly one of my favorite places in all of Israel. So with that being said, number one, a lot of people ask, is Israel safe to travel to? And more specifically, is Jerusalem safe to travel to? And I would say absolutely yes. The country of Israel is very safe to travel to, and the city of Jerusalem is very safe as well. And if you have doubts, then that's normal. You're traveling to a foreign country that you're unfamiliar with. And so I would say that those are natural feelings, but certainly the things that you see on the media or what you hear on the news in regards to it being a place where there's a terroristic activity or being in conflict or anything like that, I would say is overall not true. It's a very calm place. And the Israeli IDF, which is the local military there, and the local police have a very good grasp on the security and the control over the country of Israel and what's happening inside Jerusalem specifically. So the city of Jerusalem is about an hour and a half northeast of the city of Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is going to be the largest city of Israel and the city that you'll be flying into on your international flights. So when traveling from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, you'll be traveling about an hour and a half up through the mountains, really. The city of Jerusalem is located in the mountains, and the city of Tel Aviv is closer to the beach area. So as you approach the mountains, you'll be entering into the city of Jerusalem, and the city is really separated into two major separate areas. You have the old city of Jerusalem, which is the old historic city that you see that's surrounded by a stone wall. And then you have the new city of Jerusalem, which is a more modernized city that you might expect. So these are really adjoining and right next to each other. And so Jerusalem is a very busy place. You can expect the traffic and the overall combustion of people and commotion in general is very high. I mean, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people on buses, on motorcycles, and taxis. It's just a very busy city in general. And so you need to be prepared for traffic and your way around, whether you are going to be driving or if you're going to be using a tour bus, taxi service, train system. All of those are available and are very good as far as, getting around the city. Most of my experience in getting around the city of Jerusalem has either been on foot, by walking, being on bus, or with renting a car. I will tell you, with renting a car, not traffic, but parking can be very difficult to come by. So not only do you have the traffic no matter what vehicle you're in, but the parking with renting a car can be either expensive or it can just be impossible to find, even if you're willing to pay for it. So keep that in mind and be aware of that situation if you're planning on renting a car. So the old city of Jerusalem is really the historic part that you most often see and think about. That's the city with the stone wall around it, and that is really the original city that goes back to the biblical and older dates of history and things that we hear about and read about. So that's a really interesting part of the city to go and visit. it's really divided into sections amongst that old city. You have the Christian quarters, you have the Muslim quarters, you have the Jewish quarters, you have all those quarters within the old city, and they're kind of like neighborhoods, if you will, of established communities, families, restaurants, and so forth that are owned by Muslim families, Christian families, Jewish families, and many of these properties and many of these businesses are places that have been passed down for multiples of generations and have been something that have been within these certain families for many, many years. It's a very authentic city. The city of Jerusalem is very authentic. It's very alive. When you're there, you can feel it and smell it, especially that in which is the old city. The old city is places that you'll find within the old city are places like the Dome of the Rock, the Wailing Wall or the Western Wall, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. All of those places are historical and biblical sites that can be found within the old city of Jerusalem, within that old city perimeter of the walls within the city of Jerusalem. So again, it's a very modern city, but it's also a historic city, and it's really kind of combined and built really right next to and on top of one another. So you'll have really a great experience going back and forth from being able to get very easily from, let's say, a modern hotel to a prehistoric a point of interest that you might have, or biblical or old historic type of location that you want to take a look at. So with all that being said, there's a lot of really good restaurants, a lot of really good hotels. It is a very observed holy city. So if you're planning on going over the course of the Sabbath, which is starting at Friday night at sundown and goes until Saturday night at sundown, you can expect most places in the city of Jerusalem to be shut down for observance of the Sabbath. And so you might find a few places in some touristy areas that are available, but overall the majority of the city will be shut down. So please plan accordingly if you're planning on going or visiting the city during that time. And overall, it's definitely a city that you can spend a lot of time in, depending on what your interests are and how many things you're trying to see and accomplish while you're visiting the city of Jerusalem. There's a lot to see. You can easily fill your schedule with a week's worth of activities just staying in the city of Jerusalem alone. So hopefully this short review will help you when evaluating what to do and kind of how to plan your trip when visiting the city of Jerusalem. It's a magical place. It's an awesome place. It's one of my favorite places. And I hope that if you get the opportunity to visit it, you spend some time to really dig deep, no pun intended, to all the layers of history that the city can offer, because it can really offer a lot of just cool things that you won't get a chance to see every day, and for many people are a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So again, this is my short review of the city of Jerusalem. My name is Corey Moore, aka Corey Stones. If you like what you heard, if you like what you've seen, click subscribe, be a part of my YouTube channel, and be a part of our community. We're going to be talking about a lot of things that I'm passionate about, such as travel trips, mountain biking, snowboarding, investments, real estate, cryptocurrency, the list goes on. Have a great day.